Is there something that you'd like to talk to me about?
Miss Fletcher, do you know the meaning of the seal of the confessional?
Yes, I believe so.
The priest cannot, by word, deed, or even inference, make public anything that occurs within the confessional. And I'm sure you can imagine circumstances that might make for an extremely anguishing moral dilemma.
Oh, yes, I can think of several. I mean, for instance, hearing someone confess that they'd committed a crime, a murder perhaps, and being unable to tell the police.
Yes, that would be an excellent example.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the next episode of the Cabot Cove Confab. This is Sean.
And Steve.
And today we're going to be talking about the Season 6 episode. Second episode of the season, Seal of the Confessional, which when it was quote-unquote chosen last episode, I thought, oh, this is one of those that doesn't have Jessica in it. No, it does. And it's also set in Cabot Cove.
And, yes, and in Cabot Cove.
Yeah. But we'll get there.
As a matter of fact, the very first scene is in Cabot Cove. So awesome! It's not like Paris, New York,
right?
Tahiti.
This is nestled in between Appointment in Athens, which I don't know. Detective's Hunch might be set in Athens, and The Grand Old Lady, which we covered.
Which we did.
Yeah. So, all right.
A very Agatha Christie-esque kind of episode.
Yeah. And I don't know what kind of episode I'm going to... we'll get there. So, I've got some pre-show banter, Steve. Do you have pre-show banter?
Did we get any feedback? Did we get any feedback?
We did not get any feedback. Fuckers!
Oh my god!
If you are enjoying the podcast, go ahead and leave feedback. If you're not enjoying the podcast, fuck you. You can turn this off.
I thought we'd get a resounding "Please, no more of your 30-minute pre-banter," but okay.
I'm gonna laugh like Jimmy Carr.
Color me surprised.
I'm sorry. What?
Nothing. Okay, so what's the topic of conversation? What's your pre-banter?
Oh, I couldn't.
This week.
I love this. I love this. In fact, you and I, Steve, we normally record at 6 o'clock on a Sunday, and it is Sunday right now as we record. But I got ants in my pants, and I'm bored. So I'm like, hey, let's record now, which is 3 o'clock. Well, now it's almost 3:30. But earlier this afternoon,
because we had pre-banter before we started recording.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Yeah, but no, the readers aren't interested in our talk about Dead by Daylight and all that.
Poop in jars.
Yeah, in jars. Yeah, we literally were talking about our colonoscopies. So I had lunch with a friend, and it was yummy. And I had a Mexican martini. Love the Mexican martinis. We went to Maudie's.
What's in a Mexican martini? I've never heard of that.
It is. You've never, sir. You live in Texas. You don't know what a Mexican martini is. Basically, it's like it tastes like a margarita, except it's straight up. And it's got tequila in it, and they shake it in a. I think it may have vodka in it. Maybe I say maybe, but I don't know. I've never made one myself. But they make it in a cocktail shaker like they make martinis. And when you order it, they give you a martini glass rimmed with salt, if you like, and the mixer, the shaker. Oh, and some olives in the mix. And then you can pour it out and drink it at your I like it because it's kind of like 4 drinks in one, because you get the whole shaker full of alcohol. And so like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm going to pour out some more. What? You're going to say something. I heard you. You were going to say something.
No, I was just saying. So it's like a margarita. Sounds like
it is very much. It tastes like a margarita. It's basically a margarita, but in a different form.
Okay.
So
nice. I like margaritas.
Yeah, I had lunch with my friend Eric, with whom I do the other podcast that I do.
Oh, hold on, wait.
I will. I'll take a shot.
Okay.
And then there happened to be a Best Buy right down the street from where the restaurant was. I'm like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I know I've got to watch this Murder, She Wrote episode today, but you know what? I really want to see Dune. I should stop by and I should go to Best Buy and get a copy of Dune. Now, it is absolutely no secret that Best Buy is sort of tightening the belt on its Blu-ray and DVD selection. It's very small now. It used to take up like a third of the store.
Oh, it's insane! It's like two display not cases, but two display racks.
Exactly.
Now. It used to be like a quarter of the store.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And old fogies like you and me, we like our physical media. We don't want to just rely on streaming for everything. We like to collect things. But they did not have
because one day that streaming service will go down, or you'll lose internet and you won't be able to stream anything. So you're gonna be stuck at home during a blizzard. Yeah. You can't get out. No streaming service.
Yeah,
you go to your Blu-rays or your movies, whatever.
The government's going to take over.
Yeah,
and it's going to they're going to take down all the streaming services, and all we'll have is our Blu-rays and our guns.
Then whatever service China is providing us. So, yeah.
Which is basically what we already have. So I'm like, I can't find Dune. Now, do you ever do this thing where you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy X, and then you get there, and you're like, well, I just can't walk out without buying anything.
No, I don't have that problem.
You don't have that? You don't have that issue?
No, you don't feel I have gone like looking for a movie, and the store is sold out, and it's like, what the fuck? This is a very
right.
What was the last one I tried to buy? It was a new release. Couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, that's very frustrating.
But I couldn't understand it. There should be copies out there, out in the wild. But
it's not like, okay, I want I don't know, Rocky on Blu-ray. I'm going to go to Best Buy and get it.
Right?
No, there's no guarantee. It's not going to be there. It's 99% sure it's not going. But a new release like Dune, actually, it was. I don't even think it counts as a new release anymore. Maybe it was like released 2 months ago on on disc. But no.
Did you find it?
No, they didn't have it. I was so sad. Well, I wasn't
Amazon.
sad. Yeah, it's going to be Amazon. I mean, it's sad when it's like, well, I don't have to buy everything on Amazon. I think I'll go to Best Buy because Best Buy, whatever. Trust me, if there was a mom and pop DVD or Blu-ray store right around the corner, I would patronize their business. There's not anymore. There's not. There's just fucking not. It's just not going to happen.
I remember like 15 years ago. No, it was over 20 years ago. There was a mom and pop DVD store, and they got new releases. I would go to them because I didn't want to give like Best Buy and all these big box warehouse stores business. I wanted to go to mom and pop shop, and they would always get the new releases. As a matter of fact, they would get their their copies early, of course, obviously to have it prepared for a release day. But they would sell it to you early too. Yeah. So if you were looking forward to, like, at the time, the Star Wars DVD release, I got my copy like 3 or 4 days earlier than the normal avenues of purchase.
Because they usually are released on Tuesday is when they go on the market.
Yeah.
And that's at least how it used to be. I don't know if it's like that anymore. But when
I worked you could get bootlegs there too. It was great. Yeah, it was great. I love that sort of way out of business.
I used to work at Suncoast Video for like 2 months, and I don't know what I was doing, but they got a box full of DVDs that came in, and
this guy won't shut up about movies. He won't stop talking to people.
Could you imagine he comes here and he likes movies? Jesus Christ! Could you shut up, Sean? God damn it! No, I only worked there for like a month for Christmas. But they got a shipment of DVDs, and I took them and I put them out on the shelf. And the lady that like ran them, she's like, "No, Sean, you can't put these back." And I remember specifically, it was the movie Seven special edition DVD, and a couple of the employees had already reserved their copy because it was a big deal.
So what came in the box that makes it a special edition? Did it come like with collector cards or?
What? Oh, I thought you were being funny.
Oh, I am. I'm trying to be funny.
Okay. Because it was funny. What came in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box, Sean?
But no, what did it come with? It was special edition. Did it come with?
At that time in the early 2000s, back then, special edition meant maybe there'd be a making of feature, maybe a commentary, and there are like 3 commentaries on it. One's by Morgan Friedman, which is so boring. I actually listened to it. Yeah, there's one by David Fincher. And then another one by, I think it's the cinematographer who is Darius Kanjai. Why do I know that? Why do I know who the cinematographer is in the movie Seven? Anyway, best opening sequence of any movie I've ever seen. So I go there. I'm looking for Dune with my close personal friend Timothy Oliphant in it, and I don't find it. However, I do see something. There is one copy of a movie on Blu-ray, and you know what? You know what really intrigued me, Steve, is that there's a sticker on it that says "Only at Best Buy exclusive Blu-ray Steelbook." Now this is this is not unlike like if you want to buy Schitt's Creek on DVD, you can't buy it on Amazon. You've got to go to, I think it's either Target or Walmart to buy that if you don't have Netflix. So this is a movie that I haven't seen since I was a little boy. It was only $15 on Blu-ray.
Wait. Give me a year. I want to guess what film it is.
Okay.
What year was it, at least?
Hold on 1 second. I'm looking at it. Hold on. Right. Jesus Christ. Hold on.
Can I just take a guess right now? I'm just going to guess because I bet I've got a good feeling what it is.
Okay. All right, guess right now.
Clash of the Titans.
No, sir. I think it's later than that.
Later.
Pretty sure it's later than
that. Space Pirates.
Jesus, no. I've never seen that movie. Is that a fucking movie? Or am I thinking of Ice Pirates?
Oh, no, Ice Pirates. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, Ice Pirates.
Isn't that like Roman Polanski made that or something? and it just tanked. Okay.
I can't imagine him making that. But
no, I really think it was him. I don't know, but okay. No, you've seen this movie. I guarantee this movie was maybe not a staple of your childhood, but you have seen this as a child, and you probably enjoyed it. I can't find the year on this. Okay. I could pick up my phone and look. Go ahead.
Let's tell me what is it? What's the name?
Okay, I'll give you a hint, and then you continue guessing. It's a Stephen King movie. All right.
So The Shining would have come out before.
Oh God, I've already got that on Blu-ray years ago.
Yeah. Carrie.
No, I already got that one too. All right, I'll give you another hint. It is with. I'll give you actors that are in it. Drew Barrymore.
Oh, Firestarter.
No, that's the easy answer. James...
Which, by the way, there's a remake. I think someone either is doing a series. I saw a trailer on YouTube for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did read this.
I don't know if
yes.
Yeah. But, okay, so Drew Barrymore's in it.
It is not Firestarter.
Stephen King movie.
It's the other Stephen King movie with Drew Barrymore in it. I'll give you a hint. It's an anthology movie. There's 3 stories in it in the movie.
Oh, Cat's Eye.
Yes. And I got it.
Okay.
And I remember. I mean, this isn't a movie that I'm in love with or anything, but it was just something that I saw, and I bought it, and I'm like, I'm really going to enjoy watching this again. And people are like, well, if you enjoy it, if you think you're going to enjoy, why did you buy it on Blu-ray? Why did you just spend $15? I'm sorry, but. It's 94 minutes. I knew that much. I didn't see what the year was, but it's 94 minutes. Mm-hmm. You know what? People spend more going to the movies to see a movie they don't know if they're going to
yeah.
love or not for 94 minutes, you know?
Oh, agreed.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So I'm going to look forward to watching that whenever I have 94 minutes and I don't have to do what somebody else tells me to do. So, yeah.
Wow.
Don't you agree? I mean, wouldn't you enjoy watching that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Just saying.
No,
And-
that's. I remember liking it as a kid, but I'm having a hard time remembering what I can remember the one with Drew Barrymore and the little troll.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember the other stories that were in it.
Okay, it's the first
one.
one.
Our pre-banter timers. Our pre-banter timers going.
Fuck
off,
that thing. Fuck it. Fuck it. Throw it in the river. You know what? To quote Joe Pesci, your pre-show timer sucks big elephant dick. It's from Raging Bull. But anyway, yeah, no, the first story is James Woods, where he wants to quit smoking, so he goes to this clinic called Quitters Inc., and they basically just stalk him out until he stops smoking, and if he does things like, if he smokes, then they're going to cut off his wife's finger, or they're going to put a cat in a...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Are we ready to talk about Seal of the Confessional?
Okay, Steve, if you want. You don't have anything to add to pre-show banter? It's very disappointing.
You took up the first
time.
15 minutes, so yeah, I mean, I was going to talk about all these wonderful topics that I had written down, but no, our timer went off, so it is...
Oh, the timer went off.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Maybe we should put a timer on just the show itself, okay? You know what, Steve? Maybe we should put a timer on our relationship, okay?
The name of the podcast...
You know, that timer just went off, Steve. Just went off. You know, my friend Eric, that I do other podcasts, he was here visiting me.
Let me take
When was the last time you visited me? When was the last time? You know what? What if I was in a home, Steve? Would you come and visit me?
You came and visit me?
Of course I would visit you.
You did visit me.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes.
Oh, wow. How easily you forgot.
I set up, ladies and gentlemen, I set up until like 2 a.m. with his wife. Just talking.
That's great.
It was nice talking to somebody.
You left your dirty clothes here and everything.
Wait, can I tell that story on the podcast? So, all right, so I come home from my trip, and I'm like, I had spent the night in a hotel room, and then I came to your house, and then I spent the night there, and I come home, and there's this T-shirt that I really enjoy. I shouldn't say enjoy. That may be a wrong word, but it's a
washed it and everything.
Comfortable T-shirt. And
I washed it for you.
I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, wait, I think I left it at the hotel. Oh, well. And then you're like Mr. Surreptitious. Sean, could you give me your address, please? Okay, I'm going to write that down.
Oh, wow, you got my voice down. Wow. Am I talking to myself? Holy cow.
He's asking for my address because he's going to send me a present. Okay.
I did send you a present.
So, fucker sends me a present. I mean, like, it's like in the mail, and Tom comes in, he gives the box to me, and this is the first thing that he says. He goes, he spent $10 for postage on it.
I did. Son of a bitch. I didn't realize postage had gone up in price. Bastard. Probably more than the shirt's worth. But anyways.
It is. It is. That's exactly what he said. Yeah, so I open up the package, and it's the size of like a VHS cassette. And I open up the package, and it's Christmas wrapped. It's wrapped.
I wrapped it for
paper.
you.
I'm like, oh my God, Steve got me a Christmas present, and I didn't do shit. So I open it up, and it's the fucking shirt that I left at your house. But you did put a bag of Jelly Babies, which I'm assuming you bought at what's it called? Import. What the fuck is that?
No, I bought them online. Had them imported.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Because all right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I bought a box of them, and I thought, I'm going to give Sean a bag.
I have a confession to make there, Steve. I don't like the Jelly Babies as much as the regular gummy bears. I'm just going to say it.
Well, fuck you, because these are way more expensive than gummy bears.
But that doesn't, I don't know.
Give them to your best pal Eric. I bet he would like some Doctor Who candy. So
give me your best pal Eric. I want to give them to Eric. Give me Eric and your best picture podcast.
Did you eat them? Oh, I gotta take a drink. Mm-hmm.
I did eat them. I pretty much...
okay. You hate them so much.
No, I
probably didn't last 10 minutes.
They taste... I'm totally serious, by the way. They taste really good with alcohol. Like, if you have a bite of one of those and then have some, like a sip of alcohol, it tastes really good. So, yeah. I don't know what... But I still do prefer gummy bears. Or gummy worms. You've got some right now, don't you?
Yeah, so drinking, so...
I need you to help me. What's the name of the store that you can buy those at? I was going to say New World Imports, but no, it's...
No, they went out of business in Dallas. I don't know if they're still around.
Oh, really? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. That's where I used to get them.
Oh, what's that?
No, I got these at a really...
No, go ahead.
I got them at a very... it's a store that sells all sorts of weird stuff. But they have an online shop. It's called Amazon.com.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's really amazing all the stuff you can find at this store. It's great.
Speaking of mom and pop shops, yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Amazon.
There are no more mom and pop shops. They're all gone.
I wasn't going to...
I did my duty. I gave them business when I could, but that wasn't enough, apparently.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but I can't help it. A couple weeks ago, I was doing late night browsing on the old Amazon Prime there, and there is a show, and I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, dear readers, I don't remember the name of the show, but what they do is they just every episode is like it's like a documentary type show, and they just cover a different store in different cities that just sell toys and collectibles and stuff, The kind of stuff that, like, you and I would just go in there and spend an hour looking around. And the place is, like, 12 square feet. But we could spend an hour in there.
Yeah.
And one of the shops was in Dallas. But I don't remember the name of it. But if you knew the name of it and said it, I would be like, yes, that's it. But,
yeah, Dallas has got a few places. I mean, I haven't been to a store like that in a long time, though. If you gave me like a location, I'd probably look it up. But
yeah, I don't know. I remember looking it up, but that was a long. When I say long time ago, I mean like 2 weeks ago, and I was drunk. Anyway, speaking of 2 weeks ago and being drunk, seal of the confessional.
Thank you. Okay. Let's say you tricked me because you got me speak. You were able to identify something that I would have a lot to say, or be willing to speak on. Mm-hmm. And then you use that against me to keep me talking about something else besides Murder, She Wrote.
The readers love it, Steve. The readers love it.
I can't believe they enjoy this. But, okay. But no one's written in, so I guess they must. All right. Seal of the confessional.
All right, yeah. Just got to say this right off the bat that if you are interested in watching this story and you happen to have this on DVD, don't watch it. Turn around and watch it on Peacock because the Tonight on Murder, She Wrote pretty much tells you who the murderer is, but then again, they tell you who the murderer is about 10 minutes into the story.
Oh, yeah. This is
but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, no, that's not true. No, you don't know who the killer is. No, that's not true. The killer, or the person, thinks she's the killer. And I want to say, so, yeah, the guest star for tonight's episode is an actress. I don't see her in too many things, but, she's always been top of my mind most of my life. Jennifer Runyon.
Are you serious? Really?
Somebody? She's so she's so smoking hot, Sean. She was in Ghostbusters. That's about all I can remember. But she is so smoking hot. I'm infatuated with this person. She is gorgeous.
I thought that she was Julia Duffy, she was Peter Scolari's wife in Newhart. and I think she was also on Designing Women. But okay,
Maybe.
all right, if that's what does it for you, that the 80s typical, babe, whatever.
Bleach blonde. She had that mouth, those pouty lips.
I'm just gonna say right now, I hated her. I
What?
hated her in this.
I was going to ask you, guess which person I was attracted to in this episode, because you always ask that of me.
I only done that once.
And yeah, I'm.
You
I don't
are
think she's
attracted
been in
to
much,
that?
but
She's so gross.
What are you talking
She
about?
looks like she would be in like a workout video in like a leotard
wow. I
and
wish.
and
that'd be
leg
amazing.
warmer.
Oh, if that exists, please let me know.
Oh my god, sir! I mean, Jesus,
She is so incredibly good looking. I mean, it's.
Okay, I've never felt more gay. I just don't see it.
I know you play for the other team, but I cannot believe that you don't even recognize the beauty of this woman.
I would rather be with Angela Lansbury than be with this terrible, terrible actress. She was horrible in this. All right.
Oh, whatever. You're just jelly.
Speaking of jelly, Angela Lansbury's on the beach. Jessica's on the beach. And there's a couple guys playing with a kite.
Yeah, there's a priest and a young boy.
Yeah, we're not
playing.
gonna... Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna... Yeah. Yeah. So, I guess I just want to talk about something. The only person that I recognized in this was actually the boy.
Eddie?
Eddie, yeah. He's played by an actor named Lance Kerwin. Now, Lance Kerwin was in a movie, a made-for-TV, 2-part, quote-unquote, mini-series in 1979.
Oh, is this the guy... Is this the actor you liked in this,
No!
this episode?
Could you please?
All right.
Thank you. All right. So, his name is Lance Kerwin, and he was in this movie that I don't think you've ever seen, but you should see. And if we were doing the other podcast that we used to do, Shit We Watch on Netflix, which is still available, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to listen to it. It's available on Apple Podcasts. This was a movie that I would make you watch. Salem's Lot. A movie that my parents showed me that they shouldn't have shown me when I was however many years old, because there is literally a vampire. A child is turned into a vampire and then comes and basically vampirizes his little brother, and it is terrifying. And the vampire in this movie, which is, oh god, what's his name? I think it's Straker. It's a terrifying vampire. It's not your traditional Dracula. It's like the Nosferatu vampire.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
This vampire is for 1979. This movie is wonderful. It's great. It's one of the first movies that was based on a Stephen King novel. I think it was the second movie, to tell you the truth, because the first was Carrie, and then they did Salem's Lot, which was Stephen King's second novel. But it's a great movie, and they remade it with Rob Lowe. David Soul was in the movie. He was the main guy, and then Lance Kerwin was the kid who was sort of his, the second lead in that. And David Soul was in Starsky and Hutch, and he was also in the episode Threshold of Fear that we watched, where he played a psychiatrist who I think later got killed. Remember that episode? Of A Murder, She Wrote? No, you don't remember.
Threshold of Fear.
Okay. Well, it's the one with the girl who can't leave her apartment because she's scared.
Oh, yeah.
And she thinks that this guy killed her mother, and it's him.
Right, it's a hawk, or no, some kind of bird of prey that...
Yeah, and then it's Margot Kidder is in it, and she plays...
Margot Kidder, of course!
Yes, there we go.
Fantastic.
There we go.
I remember, I love Margot Kidder, she's great. Because she's really... My thing is that I always say about her is she's not acting, she's just playing herself. But she's so great, she can do that.
I'm going back to the
only great actors don't play other characters, they play themselves. You ever realize that?
Yeah.
Like Harrison Ford Harrison Ford is Harrison Ford in every fucking movie he does.
Yeah, I'm the president. I'm Indiana Jones. I'm whatever you want me to be. Yeah, I'll just be that. Come on now. We liked him in one movie. Well, we liked him in Star Wars and everything, But
like Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart is Humphrey Bogart in every fucking film he does. He is not a character. You can say, okay, Humphrey, you're going to play this one character. He's scarred here, and he's got a little twitch. Right, No, he's going to play it as himself. Right.
No problem. I can do that.
Who else does that? Only great actors get away with that.
Yeah. So, Margot Kidder.
She's one of them.
You remember the Family Guy?
She can play. She just plays. Like, yes, I remember the Family Guys. It's so
she
horrible.
gets up at dinner and she just goes, ah, 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 and she runs out the window. I forgot my purse.
So
anyway.
We find out that Father Barnes is helping Eddie. Eddie is how we put this politically correct. He's a special needs
person. There we go. Special needs. There we go.
And so they're flying a kite together. I don't know if that's code for something else, but they're flying a kite together. But
it's also a rainbow kite, and flying a kite is a euphemism in Thai for masturbation, which makes total sense if you think about it. Because when you fly a kite, you've got both your hands, and you're doing that, and when you're masturbating, if you're fortunate enough to use both hands.
Okay.
I'm not going to say.
Wow, I don't even know where to go from here.
Yeah.
For a family podcast,
why don't we? We're not a family podcast.
Really
why don't we?
Quickly.
Okay, why don't we call it a night? All right, good night. Bye.
So,
bye, everybody.
No. Later that night, we see a black robed Satanist. I mean,
exactly. She's out there.
Kelly Barnett running towards the church to have a confessional with Father Barnes, the guy we met earlier.
Why is she dressed in a black robe like a Satanist, or like some sort of like let's all go and do a ritual? At first I thought that was a thing, and then later on it's not really explained. Like it's a normal thing. I just don't understand. Let's not walk around suspicious at all. Anyway, go ahead.
No. Sorry. Yeah, I would totally drag my attention. Like, why the fuck is someone walking through the town like that? That's
Yeah.
But yeah, she's going to the church to give her confessional to Father Barnes, but he's away. So it's Father. Who did I say?
No,
Father Malloy.
Father Malloy.
Malloy's the one. Yeah. So Father Barnes has to give the confessional, and I kind of wonder, and the look on his face. Tell me if I read this wrong. From his expression, was that like, oh Jesus, like I got things to do, and it's like he goes into the little, I'm sure people know what the confessional is. It's like a little phone booth, like two little phone booths that you can't see except inside. You got a little window, and then I guess you confess all your sins, and then the priest will tell you do 10 Hail Marys, sacrifice a lamb, eat a child, whatever you got to do to. It's a specifically Catholic thing, by the way.
And neither one of us are Catholic, so I don't know.
So you may not have to sacrifice a child. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Could be wrong.
But this is. I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. Do they? I'm sure there's somewhere where they still do it, but I think it's mostly in movies. I don't think your standard modern Catholic church still does this, because at one point in my life, and it's a long story, I almost became Catholic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was.
You almost became a priest. Huh.
I almost became Catholic, Steve. I wasn't going to be, but I had a religious month in my life, and then I woke up.
That went south. What happened? You are the exact opposite of. Okay, what was your religious experience? That fascinating.
Well, I was with somebody who was Catholic, and I became sort of, interested in it and kind of obsessed with it for a short while. Because this is the deal, I was raised Lutheran and strict. My parents were never religious, but I was religious growing up because I went to a religious school and went to church every single.
Is this because you saw The Omen?
No.
Okay.
And it wasn't The Exorcist.
I needed an
either.
Old priest, a young priest.
But I dated this girl that was really Catholic. And there was some. Yeah, I know. I dated a girl.
I would
years.
love to meet this Sean. If I had a time machine, I wouldn't go back to go on the grassy knoll to see who killed JFK. I would go visit this version of Sean.
This version of Sean, after school, he was hanging out with the drama kids, wearing a V-neck sweater and a turtleneck.
You've mentioned the turtlenecks before. Yeah,
and I
gotta go find your mother and father and go visit them and say I want to see pictures.
No, I
want to see baby Sean and young adolescent Sean and prepubescent Sean.
Okay, sir.
Dressed.
Sir.
I want. Yeah.
It's not prepubescent. It was pretty much pubescent Sean. But I can send you pictures if you want. I can do it. I ran for homecoming king, and
did you what?
Yes, I did. It's a true fucking story. I ran for homecoming king.
I don't know who you are anymore.
As part of the student council, I was their nomination, and so me and this other girl, Trixie, we ran together, and didn't win, but I got second place. And anyway, so I was dating this girl, and she was very Catholic. Her name was Lori, and she's half Thai, by the way. And her husband is a gentleman that I introduced her to. But anyway, that's a long story. But Lori and I were together for 4 years, and she was very Catholic, and I was kind of into the whole Catholicism thing. I love the idea that you can go to confession, and there were all these rituals that you do if you're Catholic. In my religion, all you did was fucking go to church and sing some, hymns badly and listen to the pastor, and that's it. The Catholics, they believe in this whole... I can't remember the word, the blah, 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 that they literally believe. Yeah. They literally believe that they are eating the blood and the flesh of Christ.
Oh, yeah.
And that just fascinated me. I didn't believe in it, but it fascinated me.
I knew there was some horror thing involved in this. There was something.
But
I'm eating blood and flesh.
Nowadays, now when I'm older... As a theory, I'd love to read more about it. In fact, I almost feel like I could go back in time, and instead of majoring in TV and film, I could major in theology and learn a bunch of shit about religions. So, yeah.
It's got just as much drama in it, so yeah.
Yeah, well, it does. Yeah. And,
I'm not kidding. Yeah, it does.
The Bible,
it's also got a lot of paranormal stuff in it.
It does. It does.
Turning
it fucking
water
does.
to wine and...
Yeah. That's one thing. I had this aunt. She's no longer with us. She's very old. She was my grandmother's sister. What?
Dead aunt? Dead aunt?
Yeah, she's a dead aunt. That's correct.
Yeah.
But she was a total teetotal. She was a big, huge Christian, total teetotaler. Didn't even believe in dancing.
Oh my God! And you two are related?
Yeah, and I just didn't understand if in the Bible Jesus turned water into wine. What was so bad about wine then? Why do you guys not want to drink the wine? I mean, that's what...
Well, you would drink wine during the commune.
The commune?
Not the commune.
Sorry.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Communion.
Thank you.
Your favorite
movie. my favorite alien horror movie, yes.
Well, I don't think it's your favorite alien horror movie, Steve, but anyway.
It's definitely not the fourth kind.
Oh, God. Hey, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Okay, so she goes to communion. No, not communion, confession. And she says to Father Barnes, or is it... Father Barnes. She's like, I killed a man tonight. And he knows that's true because she has blood on her hand.
And she's dressed all in black.
Yeah, and like a Satanist.
Like a Satanist, yeah.
And
Could it be Satan?
Satan?
Yeah.
And, the thing about, when you watch these shows, I'm not saying Murder, She Wrote, I'm just saying anything, like, when they have people that are confessing in the confessional, you can see them, and you can see her perfectly fine, except there's a very thin screen in front of her face. Mm-hmm. But, it's like, he may as well be like, I know it's you, Kelly. Kelly, tell me more. So, yeah. And
I wonder if priests, like, they get tired or bored. Do they go into those little booths and just take a quick 30-minute cat nap?
Yes, I would. Wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I think I've literally seen pictures of priests doing that. And do you think they just get tired of hearing, like, oh, I masturbated 12 times yesterday. Could you please? Honestly. Really? Do you think they meet up later on?
I'm sure they hear that a lot, yeah.
Later on.
I would hope they would hear that more than I killed a man.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Later on when they meet up and, like, hey, I got somebody who confessed to a murder yesterday. What did you get? Well, I can't match that, Pete. I got somebody who cheated on his wife, but, I don't know. You got a murder, I got adultery. So, yeah.
Okay, so, so she confesses to Father Barnes that she killed a man, but that's all she gives him. And the next day, Jessica has a lunch date with Father Barnes. That's her words, not mine. She has a lunch date with Father Barnes, and they kind of go over. He brings up the seal of the confessional.
Wait, I have to pause. Sorry.
What?
She meets him on the beach, and she's like, "Oh, how are you?" "Hi, I'm Father Barnes." And then they're like, "Let's make a date," and I have to correct it. It's not a lunch date, it's breakfast.
Oh, is it breakfast?
It's breakfast, which, if somebody's like, I just met you, let's go to breakfast. It's like, shit, I gotta wake up, it's 7 o'clock, I gotta meet you, I can't drink.
You get up at like 11 a.m.
Yeah, I can't drink, I've gotta be nice in the morning. Fucking Jessica, nice. She's such a morning person.
That's normal.
What?
I said that's normal.
No, it's not. No, it's not normal. It's not normal. I don't want to meet anybody for breakfast. I want to have breakfast, like, at my desk alone, looking at YouTube videos while I'm eating McDonald's. Not, hi, just nice to meet you. Anyway.
So she's having a breakfast date, and the conversation is kind of odd. He basically says, I've learned something, but I can't talk about it. And so she's fishing for information. So it's like, yeah, I heard something, but I can't tell you. Yes, maybe no. I don't. But it's basically a
I've
big
just met you,
Jessica.
You're GB Fletcher? No kidding. I just met you. I'm not going to tell you something, but there may be somebody who said they may have killed someone. Just putting that on the table right now.
Yeah. Oh, we do learn from Father Barnes that he is a temporary priest because Father Malloy is on a sabbatical in Ireland with Father Ted on Craggy Island.
Now, I will bet you, and I may be wrong, that if we go back and look at seasons 1 through 5, we never see Father Malloy, although he's mentioned 14 times in this episode.
Well, we'll never see him again because at the end of the episode we find out he's going to retire. Now, who decides, they're on their sabbatical, they're going to retire? I would wait until I came back, worked a month, and then say, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And all the parishioners are like, what the fuck? God damn it, throw their rosary down and they walk out. I'm eating meat this Friday. This is ridiculous.
Right.
But I just got to say that Angela Lansbury does a great performance in this whole, like, trying to fish the story out of the father. Like, she actually does. She's actually pretty cool at it.
Yeah.
So, she does well. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I was going to move to the next scene.
Okay. That's great.
So
Let's
meanwhile,
move to the next scene, Steve.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we see a young couple. They're getting ready for sex on the beach, and they discover a dead body, which turns out to be Evan West.
Yes. Yeah, and he's in a tracksuit, a red tracksuit. And my God, who the hell is Evan West, you may ask? Well, he is a local investor. I don't know. I can't remember what they say he is.
I don't know, but he's got a beautiful home.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful home. Which does it look familiar, Steve? Does Evan West?
It looks like it'd be something from Columbo, but
yes, yeah. That's exactly where I was going with that. Evan West's home is the exact same home that was in two Columbo episodes that I know of. One from the 70s, one from the 90s. It was in Last Salute to the Commodore. And I think that was the home. I think it was the home owned by what's his name? Oh, God damn!
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I can picture him. Handsome older guy, and it's also the same home in a 90s episode, Murder in Malibu, and that was the home of the victim, the romance novelist. So just saying. All right. Yeah.
Okay. I get that one and Murder of a Rock Star confused, but about the same time.
Yeah, they're both bad. Or I shouldn't say bad, not good.
So Seth is on the scene, and we find out through him that there is a massive stab wound in his chest.
Right.
And, but yeah. And I think it's interesting because Jessica's there as well, talking to the priest, and Sheriff Metzger comes up, and he goes to Jessica, and he goes, "How are you here already?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, every time something happens, you're here. I understand why Seth's here. I understand why he's here. I understand why I'm here. But why are you here? So I think this leads to the theory of the serial killer theory that seems to be so popular, and I'm leaning towards going forward.
I suspect, but I do not know for sure, that this might be Sheriff Metzger's first season, because this is only the second episode, and because he replaced Tom. What's his name? Tom Bosley as the sheriff. Yeah.
His name was. What is his name?
His name was
Amos
Tupper.
We
Amos
fail
Tupper.
as a podcast.
Jessica.
We fell as a Murder, She Wrote podcast, so we can't get that.
Jessica,
but who do you like better as a sheriff? Who do you like
again?
better as a sheriff? Which sheriff do you like the most so far?
Well, you know what? I really do like Amos Tupper. Jessica, there's been a murder. You got to come over.
Yeah, but he's kind of... I like him, but he's kind of like wet toast, if you know what I mean. Or milk toast, I think is
milk toast.
Yeah, because Metzger seems a little more critical, but not in a bad way. Like, he's willing to do the work. I with Amos, I don't know. He just seems...
You know what?
He just wanted Jessica to do her... He just wanted Jessica to do his job.
I agree
why
with you.
Why he quit, I don't... I mean, I know why. I can understand the actor quit, but the character... He had it on Easy Street with Jessica. Oh my gosh.
I know exactly where you're coming from. I agree with this wholeheartedly, because he was just sort of this guy, like I don't want to say Barney Fife, but he was just sort of like I'm a small town sheriff, and Jessica, well, and then Metzger is from New York. I think they established that at some point. So he's used to New York murders. Ironically,
I think there's even a line. He's like, "There's more per capita murders in this town than there is in New York."
Exactly. So he is less the small town sheriff than Amos Tupper is. Ironically,
he is like I would say Amos is more like an Andy Taylor, Sheriff Taylor, kind of sheriff, laid back, kind of. I'm surprised he carried a gun. The last thing we saw him in was, what was it? Obituary for a Dead Anchor, and even he kind of bungled onto the scene, and that one too, in that episode.
Yeah, it's kind of adorable, but at the same time, not a good sheriff. Not a good sheriff. Who was it? Andy who?
Andy Taylor from Andy Griffith's Show.
Oh, god damn, Steve!
You said Barney Fife. I figured that was open.
I've never seen I've only seen the beginning of that show with the.
Are you kidding me? That's like one of the greatest TV programs of that period.
I just, as a kid, like, if it was black and white, it had to be either Lucille Ball or the Munsters, and I wouldn't watch it.
Funny, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Andy Griffith Show.
So,
you probably watched Matlock, though. I'm assuming.
Only once with my grandpa. Only once.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When we dry up with this, maybe we'll do a Matlock show. That's the Matlock.
So,
But hold on.
I can totally tell that from your rendition.
So here, about Andy Griffith, Aunt B.
Yeah.
Was it Aunt B or Aunt May?
Aunt B.
Aunt B. So the actress who played her, and forgive me, I don't remember her name, but according to Gilbert Gottfried, she had a lot of cats, and she died. And then her cats ate her before they found her body.
I don't know about that, but that's an interesting story. Yeah.
but
I've heard stories like that where your pets eat you.
Yeah, no.
You've been here for a week. You're starting to smell a little whiffy here.
But seriously, is there no other better way to go? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, my grandmother...
Be eaten by your cats? No, because you're going to have to put your cats down when they find that out.
Oh, no, they won't. No, they're like, oh, they ate Sean. A part of Sean is with us.
They would be high as a kite after eating you. You are 100 proof. Your blood is 100 proof. They'd be like, meow.
My grandmother...
This is some good shit here.
My grandmother died 2 years ago. Okay, almost to this day. And I went to her funeral. Excuse me. And I went to her funeral. I was a pallbearer at the funeral. And this woman, I don't know. I guess this was she planned this. Like she went and picked her coffin out beforehand, and she picked out like a coffin. And by the way, they're not really buried in the coffin. They're buried in a box that's inside of a big fancy box. But on her fancy box, on the edges, on the corners...
Wait. No, stop. They don't bury you in the coffin?
They do, but they don't. I mean, it's just sort of a box inside of a box.
So the box goes inside the coffin?
Yeah.
Huh.
You don't know this?
I didn't know that. No, I'm not...
Okay. But,
I'm not obsessed with the morbid, so go on.
No, I'm not obsessed with the morbid. When you go to the coffin store... You walk around, and they're like, oh, well, you can go to this. You can rest eternally in this one. I don't know if they really do that. I don't know. But, I don't know what this woman did. But, you can go and buy the cheap coffin, or you can buy, like, the premium coffin. And she saw the premium coffin, and it was custom made for her. It had a psalm. It had a Bible verse written on every corner of the coffin. And I don't know what she was thinking. Maybe it was something along the lines of, well, my grandchildren aren't going to get this money. I'm going to bury it with me.
Well,
because that fucking coffin, I'm totally serious. It was like $10,000. Like, you're just
holy shit.
Going in, and you're going to go in the ground with it, and we're never going to see it again.
You're not even there. You're dead.
You're dead. I don't care. Like
no disrespect, but I'd rather be buried in the cheapest box they had and said, and if I had that kind of money, give the rest to, if I don't want it to go to my spoiled grandson Sean, I would say give it to charity. Yeah. I mean, there's so many better things to spend that money on.
Yeah,
than a box you're never going to see. You're not.
Well, she saw the box. I mean,
the one time she didn't get to sleep in it. Not like Grandpa from Munsters where he sleeps in it. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
She probably looked at it one time.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's it. And and she spent $10,000 on that, just viewing it.
And if you don't believe me, you can call my mother at 850 blah 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 and hear about how expensive my grandmother's funeral was. Seriously, I want to be like my other grandmother. When she died, they cremated her, and then they had a big party where they just ate all the foods that she enjoyed. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going that way. I'll just fucking cremate me.
I thought, your last wishes that you told me when you were drunk was to cremate you and get one of those industrial fans and take your ashes to the State Fair of Texas and blow them out onto the crowd while they're eating their corn dogs and turkey legs.
Well, I don't know if that's legal.
Was that not what you told me?
I don't know if that's legal, but you know what? No.
Blow you out over everybody eating their food.
And then go on a cruise. And go on like a Norwegian cruise. Don't go on one of these
Norwegian cruise.
Carnival cruise lines out of Galveston.
No. You'll get COVID. You'll get COVID.
Yeah. And just throw me off the side of the cruise ship. when
Can
they're
you
out
do
at
that?
sea, and I will be
Do
perfectly
you have to get
happy.
Do you have to get special like a permission or something like that, or
That's a really
does
good
that be
question.
witnessed by the captain?
I have
or?
no idea. But I'm sorry. I just can't think of how selfish it was of my grandmother to, like, I just don't care.
Well, she was obviously a religious person. She had, you said a Bible verse on the coffin?
Yeah, there were...
Donate it to the church. Give it to the church.
God grant me through the shadow of death, I fear no evil. That psalm, it was the same psalm printed on each corner of the coffin. And, like, okay, I don't know. You put her in that, then you put a concrete box around her, then, you put her in the ground, you bury... And right now, I'm sure she's enjoying that. But she's not! She's not enjoying it. She enjoyed it for about, 5 minutes when she was thinking about how much... it's okay. It's okay. It makes her happy, whatever. But it's really expensive, people. It's really expensive. And funeral homes are they're just a fucking racket. I don't care. And I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anybody who works in funeral homes. It was a profession that I almost went into, that I should have went into.
Oh,
but
my God.
Good Lord. I just can't. I just can't. Just throw a fucking party. That's it. And that's all you got to do for me when I'm dead. Not that when I die, if I'm old, nobody's going to be around anyway.
So back to the episode. I don't know how we got off of this, but so Eddie, the kid, is skulking around the local dock, looking for a job to clean fish because he had just found this new knife on the beach and he wants to use it. And I think it was Joe. I think that's the name of the guy. Recognized the knife. He's like, "Whoa, that's Evan West's knife. The guy who died the other day.
I'm going to put you in a headlock now."
Yeah, I'm going to put you in a headlock. And poor Eddie. So he gets incarcerated for the murder of Evan West.
Yeah. So he is the patsy in this one. Once again, the wrong person is arrested. Now, we cut to Sheriff Metzger. He's off there. He's interrogating Doris, the victim's wife. She is in a wheelchair from an accident that happened years ago.
Yeah, she obviously couldn't have done it. She couldn't have done it because she's in a wheelchair.
Which makes me think immediately she did it. Because she couldn't have done it.
Really?
Because she's in a wheelchair. Therefore, she is numero uno in my mind.
Gotcha. Maybe she's not really handicapped.
And she also...
Maybe she's just used that as an excuse for the last 8 years because she didn't want to have sex with him. She's honey, I'm sorry, honey, I can't because, I'm
in a wheelchair. I can't. I literally can't. Maybe
everything from the waist down is dead. I can't feel anything. Sorry.
So, Kelly, that was in the confessional in her satanic robe, she is...
By the way, I want to apologize to anybody that's in a wheelchair that I more than likely just offended.
God, we're past that. I mean,
so,
we're I want to apologize if you're Catholic. I want to apologize if you've ever been buried with a bunch of useless shit. Like my grandmother.
Work in a funeral home.
If you work in a funeral home, I apologize. If you, all that shit. Anyway, so Kelly is Doris's daughter, it turns out.
Well, she's his stepdaughter.
Yes. No, she's Doris's daughter, but...
the dead Doris's daughter, but...
That's her stepdad, okay?
Right.
So anytime in a mystery, whenever there's a stepdaughter and a stepdad, where does your mind go?
Yeah.
And they fucking went there with this. And then we're introduced to the housekeeper, the hired help, played by a lady named Bonnie Bartlett. Now,
she's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff. I don't think she's with us any longer, but Bonnie Bartlett
I looked on IMDb. It looks like she's still alive, I think.
Oh, she is? Okay.
No. It didn't have a...
It's Doris that's not with us any longer. Sorry. But Bonnie Bartlett, you maybe you're probably right. I don't remember, but you're probably right. because I look up to see whether she was in a show that you may remember called St. Elsewhere. Remember that?
Never watched it.
You never saw an episode ever of St. Elsewhere.
I don't even know what it's about.
You don't even know what it's about.
It's about a guy. It's about a saint that went
hate
elsewhere.
So much. No, come on. This was an 80s staple. I mean, I know you don't... my parents watched it religiously. It was about...
I was watching He-Man and G.I. Joe. I was not watching this. I was not watching that, okay?
Okay, maybe it was on past your bedtime. I mean, I watched those shows too, Steve.
But I watched Barney Miller. Does that count? I watched...
Okay, well, that's...
MASH.
Okay, you're getting some
I watched
crack.
MASH.
MASH, okay.
Yeah.
Which, when I was a kid, I was very upset that it was not about
Mary Tyler Moore show.
I never watched
Mary Tyler Moore.
Never watched that. You know what I
Really?
did watch when I was older, when I got the old Amazon Prime, is Taxi. Do you remember Taxi?
Oh, well, I love Taxi. Yes,
that's
Taxi.
a really good. It's like really good. Like I didn't have any idea. I'm like, oh, I'll watch this. And it's like, oh my god, really good.
Oh, and all the actors except for a few really kind of made it big after that too.
Yeah, very much. Anyway, St. Elsewhere was a hospital show.
Who's the Boss was absolutely horrible. I hated that show so much.
I think I hated it back then. Scott Baio.
No. Who's the Boss?
Tony Danza.
Isn't that the one? Tony Danza. I cannot stand Tony Danza. Cannot stand him. I want to apologize to all the people named Tony Danza that are out there. I'm sure I offended you.
Oh, golly.
And you know who else I didn't like on that show? Well, one, the woman. Oh, I'm not going to say it. But
no, please say it. I know who you're talking about. Go ahead, say it.
So, Melissa Milano, I cannot stand her. I don't know. I know she's not doing well, but
wait, what is she doing right now? Is she the main lady that Scott?
No, she was the daughter. No, she was the daughter.
But she wasn't the mother of the daughter.
Was it Alyssa or Melissa? I can't remember.
Melissa.
She was the teenage. She was a teenager that was Tony Danza's daughter in that show.
Oh golly! Okay.
Could stand her.
I thought you were talking about the mom, who was played by some blonde actress that you'd probably like because
I did not like the blonde. I did like the mother, played by. She was in that show Soap.
Oh yes, the redheaded lady.
Yeah, what was her name? She's great. She was funny.
Yeah, she was funny, and I can't remember her name, but I guess we're yeah. So we have to keep talking about this thing.
So Jessica and Father Barnes go visit Eddie in jail, and it's kind of sad because Eddie he doesn't know what's going on. You know, he seems to understand that there was a weird thing going on with his stepfather and Kelly. He even said that he was a bad man. He wasn't sad that he was dead, but he just doesn't understand. He's like, when do I get to go home? It's like, well, Eddie, you're never going back home, buddy.
Yeah,
you're gonna rot in this place.
See, this is the thing. Okay, Steve. Now I'm gonna tell you my impression so far of this episode. Watching it, I felt like I was watching an after-school special. Like, let's see the simple guy get incriminated for the crime that he didn't do, and let's be sad for him. And
well, they wouldn't send somebody like that to jail. I think they would probably They would determine that he's not capable of serving a sentence, whatever, you know, in a prison. He'd probably go to an institution, I would imagine.
Yeah, he would. And they say that later on, like, oh, he's going to go to an institution, you know, whether he's found guilty or not, probably. And it's really sad if you think about it. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, it's really sad. But Jessica's on board.
All he wants from Jessica is like, I want comics. Give me some comic books.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can relate to Eddie.
Yeah, I totally like.
Except for comics, I would just want porn.
Sorry,
Gee, Miss Fletcher, I'm lonely. Can you bring me some magazines? Sure, Stevie. What do you want? Oh, penthouse letters.
Big broad wives.
Yeah.
Hold
Big
on.
broad what? Big broad wives.
No, that's that they would sell you that. No. Hear me out now.
And a carton of menthols.
Okay. Thank you so much. I can't believe that people listen to this is it. This is the one, people, when you're listening. If you're not like, nope, I'm not listening to this any longer. I'm shutting it off now. If you listen,
I apologize to comic book listeners.
Well, okay,
I like comic books too, but I think I just honestly would rather read Penthouse letters.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, no, you know what? Penthouse letters, nowadays, that's a commodity. Back then, no, we'd rather see the photos. Nowadays, you can see the photos and the videos, you just type a few things online. But now the letters are kind of good. Anyway, so that's my theory anyway. I think that literary erotica has a market, just saying, and make it...
okay.
They're like slash fiction. You know about slash fiction? Like, I'm going to make this story about Harry Potter and Hermione, and that's big with the Harry Potter folks and Doctor Who folks. Not Billy.
Are you talking about fan fiction?
No, slash fiction.
What's slash fiction? They kill each other? Like, what is that?
All right, so I just listened to this podcast about... No. Slash is like, we're going to write a story about the Doctor / Rose Tyler. All right, for Doctor Who.
Oh, like a relationship.
Yeah, or Spock / Kirk, James Kirk, and there's going to be a relationship, and it's a adult relationship, and it includes both romance and sex, and that started out, I think, with Star Trek, and then that sort of evolved.
They did. Kirk and Spock, yeah,
and then it sort of evolved into what they call, I think it's called yaoi now in Japan, which is basically manga that is just with men doing it. And this is the patronage is almost exclusively Japanese girls. They love it. They just love men getting together and being romantic. And being romantic is important. It's not just porn, but you also have the romantic aspect. And then, of course, after the romantic aspect, you've got the sex, which is there's not as much in it as the romantic stuff.
So Jessica goes to visit Doris.
She goes to go visit. All right, yeah.
and she bumps into Marilyn. And Marilyn is scrubbing down one of Doris's wheelchairs. Actual wheelchair.
Yeah,
and I think it's even called out like, "Why are you doing that?" I was like, bored.
Yeah, that's basically what she says. And it's like, "Hi, the murderer is Marilyn. Murder alert! Murder alert!"
Yeah, she's wiping down fingerprints and blood and
she literally
semen.
I'm gonna lotions, potions. I'm wiping this whole thing down with basically lighter fluid. She literally
right. I don't know why she did do that, to be quite honest.
Lighter fluid. I don't know. Yeah, and you don't have to be sure.
Jessica goes like, what's the smell with all the bleach?
You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to be like, wow, why is she doing that? I don't think this is a subtle clue at all. So then, I don't know. Jessica's at the house, and what's her face?
She consoles Doris. She consoles Doris because, she's like talking about how she dealt with the death of her husband, and that's when Father Barnes arrives.
Oh, wait,
and
no. There's a very good scene, in the same scene that you're talking about, where Kelly's like, I have to go. And she's like, oh, I'll go out on the beach. I have to go. Oh, the door's stuck. It's so bad, Steve. Her performance is horrible. It's horrible.
And she kicks in the glass with her foot. I mean, it's obviously there's something going on. She's got to get out of that room.
I guess I'll talk to Father Barnes.
Right, yeah, because he arrives and he recognizes her. He's like, oh, it's the Satanist that came to the church 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
So now he knows, and Jessica she sees the reaction of Father Barnes after seeing Kelly, and she knows, oh, there is a connection, something going on, because he had a look of surprise seeing, and then finding out that she was the stepdaughter to the person that was killed, because he had no idea. This was all new to him.
And Jessica knows that somebody confessed something to Father Barnes, but
about a murder.
He ain't telling her.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, I'll put two and two together because they're acting so suspicious. Like, as you know, that there might be something there.
Yeah, they acted like almost as if two lovers were surprised. Speaking of lovers, what's the deal with Jack, the other teacher?
Fuck
Kelly?
this. No, I don't know. Yeah, Jessica's pulling up to the house, and she sees there's a fellow named Jack Hutchings who's pulling away. And he is a
great deal older.
Yeah, great deal older. Like he's like 65. Yeah, he's like 65. And he has been fooling around with help me, Steve. What's her name? Kelly. He's been fooling around with Kelly.
He has been. Okay,
it's implied.
I don't know if I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, it's implied. And both of them are horrible actors. So you just kind of have to let that go.
No.
They're horrible actors, Steve. Both of them. I'm sorry. I just gotta say. But we find out, Jessica sees him pulling out. We don't see him. But then after this confrontation at the house, Jessica goes to see Father Barnes. Or not Father Barnes. Jesus.
Jack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's a Lego maniac. Jack, he's a Lego maniac. Remember that commercial?
Yeah. No. And
No, Sean, don't talk about that. Let's talk about this episode. Okay.
Yes.
But there is something I'm going to say nice.
Well, no, she was a student, wasn't she? Was she his student?
I don't know.
But she was a student at the school, but we find out that she mysteriously left the school and went to a boarding school in another state. Yeah,
it's gross.
Well, there's a reason. I mean, that's actually a clue that she didn't stick around going to Cabot Cove High for whatever reason. She ended up leaving.
You mean the high school?
In the middle of her
high schools.
The high school, yeah.
Did you know?
But she.
My high school, there was the drama teacher. There was a drama teacher, and the year before I started at my high school, he had an affair with a girl that was in his class, and it made the news. He was actually on the news. She was on the news. And then he resigned after that, of course. They didn't hire a new drama teacher because I would have fucking taken drama no matter what. But...
so are you saying that if your high school drama teacher had screwed around with a student, your life would be completely different today?
No, I'm not saying that. Is that what I'm implying? Does it sound like I'm implying that?
That's what I'm asking.
No.
But that would be a fascinating... what do they call that? When something like that happens. A turning moment in your life where you could have gone left or you could have gone right. And it would have resulted in drastically different life choices.
No, I'm pretty sure I still would have been in drama because I was a queer drama kid. And when I say queer drama kid, readers, if you're a queer drama kid, you know who I'm talking about. If you're a queer drama kid, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the boy who had a girlfriend for 4 years, and then, she dumped him, and then, a month later...
so are you saying if she didn't dump you, your life would have been different? You would have been a Catholic priest?
It would. You're absolutely right, yes. Maybe not by now, but... guys, yeah, this is a thing. Jesus Christ, I gotta point that. This will never come up in Murder, She Wrote, but, if you are young... and you are dating a girl, and you want some dick, go get the dick, and tell your girlfriend, I'm going to get some dick. And you know what? Your girlfriend may even like you getting the dick, because you know what's worse?
Really?
Being with the girlfriend for X number of years, and then you're like 50, and you're like, I want some dick. And then your girlfriend's like, what the fuck? We were together for, well, I really wanted dick all along. I just couldn't, Well, you know what, guys? Guys.
That's great.
Or girls. Or girls. When you're 50 is not the time to come out and say, hey, I want some dick. It doesn't. Do it when you're 20.
Murder, she wrote.
Hey, I want some dick. Go and get all the dick. We're post-AIDS. Could you please
Sheriff
just
Metzger.
go get the dick?
Seth. What?
Yes, sir. Sir, are you trying to put this back on Murder, She Wrote, Steve?
I'm trying to steer this car crash back onto the road.
Go enjoy the dick.
I don't even know where you are right now. Okay.
No.
So, next scene. So, it's the next morning, and during post-colloidal breakfast with Seth, Jessica finds out that Evan West didn't die from a stab wound. He drowned.
Or did he? Did he?
Yeah.
No,
that was the cause of death.
He didn't. His cause of death was that he was either hit on the head or stabbed, I thought.
No, I think he said cause of death was drowning.
But he didn't drown.
So, yeah, he did.
So the murderer hit him on the head and then put him in the water, and that's when he drowned.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll allow it.
So Jessica goes to see Eddie. She's got the new comic books. Got a Superman, a Spider-Man, and a Swamp Thing. And and Metzger's really excited. He's like, "Oh boy, I haven't read these yet." So I don't know. Poor Metzger.
I have to add that I actually laugh at that joke. That's such a stupid joke, but I needed a moment to laugh anyway, and that's the moment that I found. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Jessica also bumps into the local lawyer, George. I didn't get his last name, but I guess he has a practice.
George Woodward.
He has a practice on Cabot Cove. Wouldn't you love that?
I would love it, and I gotta say one thing. Every time they show a lawyer in a movie or a TV show, he's in a suit. By the way, we fucking hate wearing suits. Everybody hates wearing a suit unless you're going to a funeral or a wedding. I hate it, especially in Texas. Do you know how hot it is in Texas in July or August, and you have to wear a fucking suit and the air conditioning in your car,
So we find out that the lawyer was actually hired by Dora West, which is interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Why would you think Doris would want to hire?
I don't know, Steve.
George?
Why?
I don't know. We don't know. But it is interesting. But George ends up talking to Jessica as they walk away from the sheriff's office. And we learn that both he and Evan were quite close. And they, not like that. And they would go to conferences together, or maybe it is like that. I don't know. But they would go to conferences together, and he said, like, during one night they had gone out drinking, and he told Evan told George that I married the wrong Barrett. Implying that he shouldn't have married Doris because he wanted Kelly.
Yeah, of course. We've got that stepfather, stepdaughter thing, which is, back then it's a scandal. Right now it's really porn. That's really a subgenre.
It sounds like something. Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah. So Jessica decides
let me let you borrow my stepdaughter or stepson. But yeah, that's a fucking thing, people. Look it up.
But Jessica, I guess she wants to go back to the house to go check out the boat, and she bumps into Jack and Kelly, her old teacher, and they have their arms around each other. Their arms around each other. A little weird. Something's going on there. Surprises them. But she's there mainly to visit with Marilyn as well. And we find out that Marilyn ID'd Eddie as the killer because she saw Eddie on the dock, on this private dock, and picked up the knife. So
Marilyn being the nurse
that
cleaned the
wheelchair. Yeah. The lines are starting to point to her, in my opinion, with Marilyn. And not only that, Jessica notices that she's got suitcases packed behind her.
Not suspicious at all, ladies and gentlemen.
No, not at all. So Jessica ends up going down to the boat. Yeah, Marilyn basically kicks like, "Get out of here! I don't want to talk to you, you crazy novelist." And so Jessica goes down to the boat, and she's snooping around. She sees a little bit of blood on one of the jacket racks where I guess the red jumpsuit would have been hanging.
Yes,
or they call it jumpsuit. They called it a windbreaker.
Yeah,
and that's when Jack, for some reason, he comes back and he surprises Angela, saying, "You're trespassing, and what are you doing here? You need to leave this alone. It's none of your damn business." Which I guess, to me, really kind of puts Jack under the what's the word I'm looking for?
Microscope.
Microscope. Thank you.
Okay,
yeah.
They do something here that I can't stand. I'm going to go back to this a little bit later when we're talking. There's something that they do. This is so lazy, but hey, we're filming a scene on a boat, so let's make the camera rock back and forth to make it look like we're on a boat. All right. Don't do it. I mean, people used to do this.
Didn't even notice.
70s. You didn't notice this?
No.
They, filmmakers used to do this in the 70s and 80s. I don't even think they did it in Columbo, because there's only a couple scenes in Columbo where they filmed on a boat. But don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay. I hated that. And it totally drew me out of it. Not as if any of this was very realistic in the first place, because when Jessica's talking to the lawyer, George, and she's talking to him on basically downtown Cabot Cove, it's so fake. You could just tell it's a movie set. You just see extras milling about in the background. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. It's okay, and I say that's okay. It's because I know it's a show. I know that it's not real. It's okay, but there's so much more in this. Why don't you keep going, Steve?
Okay. So we're also Jessica's confronted by Kelly. She's there with Jack, and Jessica starts laying it out like, "Look, poor Eddie. He's going to go away because of this, and I know it's you. It's obviously you. You need to confess." And Kelly admits to it. She admits to the murder. She even says said that Evan even tried to grape her, and she didn't want to be around him, and she was defending herself. So,
all right, we're done. Case closed. All right, how many? No, it's not. A case closed.
Oh yeah. So no,
it's not
so,
it.
Yeah,
it's
so
not it. No,
we see that. No, so we see her stab. We see in a flashback she stabs her stepfather, and he falls into the water, and she thinks, "Oh, I killed him," and that's when she runs off to the church. So that doesn't make sense. So if you according to the flashback, even though I don't know how Jessica didn't see the flashback, he wasn't wearing that windbreaker, which is where his body, when discovered, it was wearing. There's more to the story. Somewhere there's a missing piece. So Kelly goes with Jessica to the sheriff's office to confess, and Jessica says, "No, you didn't kill him. You may have wounded him, but you didn't kill him." And it turns out that Marilyn is getting ready to leave. She's got her luggage packed.
Yeah.
She's in a taxi. She's like, "Let's get the fuck out of town. Let's get out of here." And the taxi's taken off, and it gets cut off by Wesker.
And he even points his finger out the window at her, like, "Hey, you're not going anywhere. Get your darn hands off her."
Okay. What is this, Back to the Future?
That's where I got it from.
Yeah. So Metzger pulls her out, and we find out through another flashback that Marilyn, I guess she was lovers with Evan.
I don't know.
I think that was implied.
And
she found out that he was chasing after Kelly, which put her into a jealous rage because she was going to patch him up because he had suffered from a stab wound, and she knocked him out with a poker and put him in the wheelchair, took him to the beach, and dumped him over one of those cliffs. And
best way to get rid of a body ever.
I see. Okay.
Hashtag.
And that's it. And that's it. And that is the episode.
Surprise, surprise. It was her. Oh my God. I never would have seen it coming. And...
Oh, we did get a scene, kind of as a follow-up, the scene that Eddie is now, he's playing football again on the beach, and everything's back to as it should be. And there's a scene with Seth and Jessica talking to each other about, how did Seth hear about all these rumors around town, whatever. And I don't know if you noticed, if you didn't, and you happened to watch again, look in Seth's glasses, because you can see the filming lights in his glasses.
Yeah.
Because either that or there is a fleet of UFOs that's behind Jessica that are coming in to attack. All these little bright lights in his glasses. Like a row of 6. Or it was a row of 12. And, yeah.
Yeah, I did indeed notice that. I am not going to judge the episode based on its, I don't know, errors like that. But okay.
All right,
Steve. Out of how many are we doing this thing here?
So I decided to take the amount of years of blissful marriage that Doris and Evan had. They were married for 8 blissful, wonderful, sexually arousing years.
Okay.
How many would you rate out of 1 out of 8?
So out of 8. I'm going to give this a 3.
Holy cow, a 3!
I did not like this at all. Okay. Let me start with the acting. I want to particularly say, what's her name? Kelly and Jeff? Wait, was that the old guy's name? Jack. Sorry.
Jack.
Kelly and Jack.
The guy who said Jack Lego attack. Okay. Don't go on.
Shut up. They were horrible in this. Horrible acting. And Angela Lansbury has moments where she's about to shine out, but she can't, move her head above this awful script. But, all right. So, I've been to film school. I've done editing. I've done directing. And, if you're Sir! But if you're, like, a good director, like, you don't know... when viewers are watching it, don't know that you're directing it. But the director in this case, Vincent McEvity, was awful. This was awful. The editing was terrible. Watch it carefully and you'll see that it looks like it's been cut by a film school freshman.
They say that there's a one transition scene, and it was done poorly. I can't remember it, but I remember it pulling me out of the episode. I want to say it's about 3/4 of the way in. I can't remember what the scene was, but there was a cut where it was just it was really bad. It was very obvious.
Yeah.
It wasn't a smooth transition.
Now watch it again. You'll see what I'm talking about. Where, let's say, the whole fucking episode is basically people talking in rooms. That's the whole show, basically. The same with Columbo. But they just cut to, hi, I'm talking, and you're doing a headshot of me, and then cut to somebody that responds to that, and then the film cuts again to whoever's, and it's just bland. It is horribly bland and boring, and it's noticeable, and it's bad. It's bad. And added to that is the scenes on the boat where they go back and they make the camera go, ooh, we're on a boat. We're gonna make it seem like we're on a boat by tilting the camera back and forth. No, it's dumb. That's just fucking lazy. Show us that you're on a boat with something else, And also we know you're on a boat because you went on a fucking boat. You don't have to show through the camera that you're on a boat. And I think that was an 80s, 90s thing, truthfully, because there's a few movies like Dead Calm comes to mind. Great movie. Sam Neill, Billy Zane, Nicole Kidman, where they do the boat thing really well.
Why
Did you ever see that movie?
I have not seen that? No, but I love those actors.
Holy shit! Yeah, check that out. Basically, it's about Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman are a married couple, and they're on a sailboat in the middle of the ocean, and they get an SOS, and it's Billy Zane. And he's like on this boat where a bunch of people were killed, and he's asking for help. Well, they go and help him. They bring him on the boat with them, and it turns out that Billy Zane may have been the one that killed all the people on the boat with him.
Ooh.
And it's a great movie. Totally check it out. It's much better than watching this piece of shit that we watched for this episode. But no, seriously, Dead Calm. Go check it out. Joe Bob says 4 stars.
All right. So you give this 3 out of 8.
Yeah, this was horrible. And then let's talk about the mystery. Let's talk about who done it. Let's talk about how I thought it was a red herring, but it wasn't a red herring. It really was her. When she's wiping the wheelchair down with like Clorox wipes or whatever, it's like, oh my god, that's suspicious. It can't be her. Oh wait, later on we find out, oh, she's got this perfect motive. She has a perfect opportunity. Oh my god, it was her. Okay. All right.
I tell you the one thing I didn't like, kind of to expand on what you're talking about there. So at one point, when Marilyn is talking about during the flashback, she says, when I found out that he was going after that poor girl again, being Kelly, it enraged her, and that's when she struck Evan. But right before that scene, when she got caught by Jessica and Metzger, she said, they said to her, "Oh, we know Eddie didn't do it," and then she jumped right to, "Well, no, I saw Kelly. It was Kelly." So she was immediately going to blame Kelly in that situation, but in the flashback, she was protecting Kelly.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Maybe she was desperate.
That's a good examination. Very good. Yes, that's absolutely true. Yeah, very good. All right, that's a validation for the script right there.
Okay. Okay, my turn.
Yes.
All right, I agree with a lot of things you said. Especially the editing thing. I didn't notice it until you brought it up, but that is a good point. However, I did enjoy the story. I like the idea that we thought it was Kelly. It felt like it was Kelly, but there was more to the story that who really killed him. She just was in defense. He survived that attack, which I'd be curious if she'd be charged. But overall, I thought it was a good story. The actor who played Eddie, I kind of wish they went with a child actor. They obviously had children that were playing playing beach football at the end. So I'm surprised they couldn't find a child to play that role, and I think it would have been more engaging as opposed to an adult man playing a child who was mentally challenged or special needs. Whatever. I know I'm offending everybody tonight, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know if that was appropriately cast. I liked the actor who played the father, the priest, Father Barnes. I thought he did great.
By the way, I thought it was Richard Thomas at first, but it wasn't. And Richard Thomas is the guy from the Waltons, and he also played Billy in the first version of It, the made-for-TV movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
And but I think what really kind of is going to kind of bring the score up for me is Jennifer Ryan, whatever her last name is, the girl from that's so hot. And
Okay.
so I'm gonna give this out of 8. I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Jesus Christ. So okay, let's pretend that she's not in it. Let's pretend instead of her, it's Eric Roberts. How much would you give it?
Oh, Eric Roberts. It would go down because of Eric. Oh, for all you
exactly.
Eric Roberts fans. I don't mean
I'm just trying to
you
find
tonight. Well, no, if it was another regular actress that I didn't recognize and have a childhood crush on, I would probably.
Piper Laurie, I don't know.
I'd probably give it a 5.
Okay. So you admit that this movie or this show this episode is not that good, and But every scene that we see Kelly, I loved it. All right. I'm going to say this right now. I despise the fact. I mean, we've watched umpteen episodes of this so far, and I just it was just so fucking obvious. It's like, well, wait a minute, it might be somebody else.
I didn't realize it was Marilyn. Or towards the end, I thought Marilyn or Jack were somehow involved.
Okay, all right, yeah, they were, and
still don't completely understand the relationship with Jack, but yeah, it's interesting. This episode is we typically align most of the time with our scores, but this is one of the few where we separate.
You know where I'd like to see this episode go? I'd like to see this episode go with Kelly having the blood on her hands.
Having all fans.
She.
Oh.
You mean OnlyFans?
OnlyFans, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She confesses the murder. She's got blood on her hands. She may even be arrested, and it's like, it can't be her whatsoever. And it turns out to be her as the murderer. But we have between that and the ending of the piece, we have a lot of superfluous evidence pointing to other people. I'd love that, and I wish that I don't think that Murder, She Wrote has ever done that. Agatha Christie has done it, but yeah, this was not handled well in my view. I just think it's just,
I don't think it was that bad. All right, Sean, should we bring out the cats?
Bring out the cats
with their wheel.
Let's spin the wheel. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Go now. Okay. All right. We are going to be watching Moving Violation from season 7. Moving Violation.
Sounds like an 80s comedy film.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about. I should have brought my thing out and told you what it was because all the stuff is written on my thing. Shut up, Steve. I know what you're going to say to that. But yeah, it sounds like fun. Moving Violation. Right. Steve, say something while I'm looking it up.
Sounds like an 80s comedy film.
Okay, well, you said that already. The thing to do is like more.
Sounds like a 90s drama.
Moving Violation. Okay, according to IMDb, Moving Violation is about Sheriff Metzer. I think it's Metzger, but whatever.
Metzger.
What the fuck does IMDb know? Defies political pressure and arrests an ambassador's son for various charges. Later, the son is found dead, and Metzger... Oh, now there's a G in it. Metzger finds himself... Hold on. Finds himself charged with murder. So I think we have another Cabot Cove episode in our hands, Steve. Imagine that. 2 in a row. And here's you complaining that we don't get enough.
I know.
Cabot Cove episodes. Jesus Christ.
So there was a 1995 movie called Moving Violation, and it stars. It says the goofy students of remedial driver's education class find themselves butting heads with their abusive police instructors. Stars John Murray, Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly. You know what, Steve?
Steve.
Oh,
the girl. Oh, you know who's in that?
What?
No. You know who else is in that film? Maybe we should review that film instead of Murder, She Wrote. Claire Peller.
Oh, Claire Peller, the Where's the Beef lady?
Yeah, she's in it. Yeah. Oh, you know who else is in it? It has to be a Wendy's thing. Nedra Volz. She played the Drummond's maid.
Oh my!
The older one.
Okay,
yeah, not
all right.
Who else?
Anyway, if
Sally Kellerman from MASH. Uh-huh.
If you're interested in finding out who's in Moving Violation, the Murder, She Wrote story, we have Susan Clark, a Columbo connection there, as somebody. We've got Philip Baker Hall, an actor you may not know the name, but you will know him when you see him, if you know what I mean,
okay.
And I think you do. We have, I don't know the rest of these people. Hold on. Will Nye again. You know,
Bill Nye? The science guy?
No, it's not him. No, Will Nye was in this episode that we just did. He's the guy.
His brother? What?
I declare order. I can't believe that you don't take this seriously.
Oh, Susan Clark. She's the mother from Webster.
Yes, she was a murderer in Columbo. Remember?
She looks like she would be.
She looks like she would be. Okay, everybody. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to go have a nice nap.
Oh, we get to see Mayor Booth again in this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jessica. Oh, I think he's basically the sound of the mayor from The Simpsons. Oh, I declare.
Oh, Will Nye. I see who he is. Will Nye. He's in every Cabot Cove episode.
Yeah,
he's like
he's like the deputy or something.
Yeah.
And
Barney Fife.
When you look it up on IMDb, his first credit is cop number 1 from the movie Clue. All right. I saw that. I'm like, oh, he was in Clue. Oh my God. No, cop number 1. Oh, okay. He was with probably one of the guys that was with Howard Hessman. Rest in peace. So, yeah.
All right, Sean. Right. Till next time.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Cabot Cove Confab. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a favorable review on Apple Podcasts. Also, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter at Cabot Cove Confab or email us at cabotcoveconfab@gmail.com.